here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the concept of men who are gay. In other words, let me define a gay man. A man who is physically attracted to another man. What I'm not interested in getting at, was he born that way? Did he become that way? Either way, his natural desire is other men, not women. Let's just keep the definition that simple. I want to talk about men who are gay, who ended up marrying women and raising families with women and never acted on their desires to physically be with other men. Now, here in 2019, it's largely much more so accepted to be openly gay. It wasn't that way even 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we still had President Obama voting against gay marriage. Bill Clinton against. So you can see now, basically, people automatically assign you as a bigot if you say that you're against gay marriage. That's when we're at that point. That tells you that even though there are still tribulations for gay people, we're at the point now where if you are openly against gay marriage, even though it's legal anyway, you're automatically a bigot. That's how society has framed it now. That's where we're at. So, with that being said, I believe it's safe to say that it is much safer and easier for a man to be openly gay now than compared to, let's say, the 1950s and the 1960s. I can only imagine that in theory, there were just as many gay men in the 50s and 60s when it was not okay to be gay. So instead of necessarily acting on it, I have to imagine there were so many men who thought, you know what? I just want to try to live a normal life despite who I'm actually attracted to. I can make this work. I'm going to marry a woman. I'm going to raise a family. And despite being attracted to men, I'm going to do this thing. That's what I want to discuss. That happened. It's still happening. There's still men today who are attracted to men, but decided to marry a woman instead and decided not to act on that. And I think a lot of it too has to do with religious reasons. Not just Christianity, but also Islam. There are many religions where it's not okay to live that lifestyle. So they marry a woman instead. And I think that's fascinating. There was actually a series on it. I don't think it lasted very long, but it was called "I Married My Husband's Gay" on TLC, I believe. I happened to see an episode or two of it, and they were talking about SSE, same-sex attraction, no, SSA, obviously, same-sex attraction. Men who were attracted to other men who married women, and the women knew that they were attracted to men, but the women married them anyway. So that happens. It's not talked about, which is why I wanted to make this video about it. This happens now, but it especially happened back when it wasn't okay to be gay. So just imagine 1950s, 1960s, time in America when we still seem to really have much more conservative values, where you couldn't be gay. People might speculate, they had phrases that back in those days they'd say, he's sort of light in his loafers. Another one they'd say, well, yeah, he's pushing 40. He's still not, is he married? No, he's not married. He's a confirmed bachelor. See, those are phrases from back in those days that people knew, but that was the end of it. There was speculation, and maybe some of these men just never got married. But I think what's more fascinating to talk about is the men who are attracted to men who married women and carried on their lives accordingly and never actually ever acted on their physical desires. I think that's interesting. I would like to talk about this more. So let's do that here in the comment section.